my side, I'm the hunter of deals, I'm the master of the buy. With my wisdom and experience, I'm setting the pace, turning yard sale, junk into gold and in the rain.
Oh, dear God, save me.
Y'all needed a roll tide this morning because, man, the best weekend of the year, college football is back. Awesome.
Social landscaper.
I know, right? He's been coming on Thursdays. I don't know. Uh, um, yeah, so I hate to be the one to say I told y'all so, but last week I asked y'all, did y'all drink the Kool-Aid? Did you drink the Kool-Aid? Did you think eBay was going to all of a sudden be nicer, kinder? Look at what they're listening to sellers. Look at all the stuff they do. Less than a week later, they come out and say, free returns no longer protect you from negative feedback. We are not going to be taking that down just because you have free returns effective September 3rd. I wonder, they knew they were going to do that. I wonder why they didn't tell that to you last week.
You mean when there was a big gathering of people that could have mobbed them?
When they could have explained it to 5,000 people and really, yeah, good luck with that, folks. If you think they've changed one bit, let's see. Name here's a good thing for everybody in the chat. So welcome to the show. When's the last time eBay did something positive for a seller on this platform?
They closed my account.
I'll wait. And what's the last?
Well, it's positive if you send a package and it stalls in the mail and you have to refund the buyer. eBay's going to cover the seller.
But let's say this, Todd. Who's forcing you to do the fucking refund?
eBay.
Okay, so let's see. It's positive that they're going to force you to do it, twist your arm, tell you you can put your account in jeopardy. But oh, wait a minute, it showed up. We'll take care of that for you. That's not a positive. That's a solution to their own creative problem. As long as an item is moving and shipping, it should be the message should go out. We are sorry for the delay. We don't control the postal service, or we don't control shipping, but it is still moving. Please be patient. eBay could do themselves a favor. Go, when a customer contacts them, hey, we're so sorry about that. Here's a 10% discount. It'll save them money. Here's a 10% discount to use on eBay. They could do anything other than, that damn seller, they're going to give them their money back right now. We don't care if they lose money. That's the wrong answer. You're the middleman. You're not a seller. You're not an arbitrator. It's just, Kevin, they just do a lot of bad shit, man. It's a platform that is supposed to be in the middle, that's supposed to be facilitating transaction, that's supposed to be providing an e-commerce platform. Should not treat one worse than the other. You want me to treat a customer like a princess, but every time I turn around, you're constantly stabbing me in the back. How do you justify both ways to say, and don't tell me it's just business has always been this way. They choose it to be this way. They choose the Cracker Barrel route every time.
Cracker Barrel's keeping their logo.
Bowed to the pressure is what they've done.
Yeah, have you seen the videos of their stores, man? When old girl and it's okay. So somebody's got to ask the hard questions. That CEO, she got a lot of Adam's apple. Is that really a woman?
I haven't looked.
She got a lot of Adam's apple. I look at her and think, damn, that could have been a dude. I can't be the only one.
Why? Mark's asking why did he lose his eBay account? I asked him to close it.
So I got a feeling, LSS Basher. I got a feeling that the reason why they're doing that is they're some lawyer, some legal person has determined. Remember, I think I talked about it last week, or talked about it somewhere in 16 when they passed some e-commerce laws and some laws about consumer review protection. Remember, the government always does something in the whatever they name the act. That's what it doesn't do. Some kind of protection review act or whatever. It doesn't do any of that. It's always something else. Hey, other Kevin, what's up? Um, it never does. Like the Infrastructure Act. It didn't do anything for the infrastructure, the lower and all the crazy. And so I got a feeling some lawyer has said, "Hey, we are removing reviews that might be deemed illegal based on the 2016 consumer protection, whatever the hell they called it." And so they're getting out of that, but they're having a and coming out and saying, "Hey," instead of explaining what and this is what eBay does so wrong. Instead of explaining why something has to happen, they just tell you it's going to happen and give you no reason, and they make themselves look like the bad guy instead of saying, due to recent findings, we believe that some of the reviews that we are removing, you know, might, or just saying, hey, we need to make sure that we are abiding by this the Consumer Protection Act that regulates what reviews can and can't be taken down. We are being forced to no longer be allowed to do this. That's all give some reason behind it instead of just announcing something that's perceived as a great negative. Because my first thought is there's only a few reasons why you do free returns. Why the hell would you do free returns now? That was the main benefit of free returns.
Are they still offering the rest of the stuff for, like you can give 50% and all that shit? That's still there, right?
They didn't mention it, so I'm assuming it's still there.
Because it's still a benefit of offering free returns if that's.
But it's it's the way you eBay does a terrible job of the way you spin things, the way you tell things, the way you can control public perception of an event by giving some background, giving some history instead of.
I think part of the problem is these directives come from the boardroom, and there's a lack of understanding of what the real because it's not just eBay. There's a lot of companies out there that change rules or do things different, and it makes them look bad when in reality they're being pressured to do it by recent lawsuits or whatever things that we don't pay attention to.
Correct. So
And,
I think,
and I think if it was passed down that a lower person put that type of information out instead of it being a directive from the board, it may have better results because I got a guy to give you an example. I have a guy that makes images. I can't remember his name half the time because I never have spoken to him.
the CEO,
Yeah.
Iannone or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's people that, that work below that they understand the market better than these CEOs that are looking at spreadsheets or getting information about from the legal department saying, "Hey, you can't do this." So they're going, "Okay, since we can't do this, let's put out a directive." And they're not taking into account how it's going to be perceived. They see it as protecting their business.
So Landshark, I wish they just did away with feedback. So the way that I can't believe I agree with Craig. It's too early in the morning to agree with such a slime ball. It's terrible. But I think that a seller, they already get the metrics about how a transaction, the numbers 1 through 5 or whatever. That doesn't have a lot of. If that was just there and you had a overall seller rating of a 4.8, a 4.9, whatever it is, and that was it. There was no negativity to it. There was no positivity to it. You just saw the number. I think that would be something that would take. There wouldn't be something screaming somebody called it, that a buyer was allowed to call a seller whatever the hell they wanted to, and we couldn't do anything in return. And then it takes some of the venom out of there's no satisfaction. Okay, so maybe this. I mean, everybody's gonna get a zero, a one, or two, or three every now and then, but it doesn't overall affect you as much. It'd be a more fair system, but
I don't
it's
know.
never.
LSS Basher says that a lot of these CEOs are incompetent, take Cracker Barrel. Listen, that it thing, male, female, whatever it is,
That was
at
done on
some
purpose.
point proved that she was competent, that they were competent enough to run a company. They may have, just like any hire, they may have come in under false pretenses to do something that they felt. I don't know that incompetence really plays that big on CEOs. And also remember that we're blaming one person, and their board could be 15 people that voted on this decision. And she may have said no. I don't know all the ins and outs, but what I'm saying is, when I make a decision, I don't take just my advice now. Sure, in if Scott changes something, it's on Scott. But when you have a board and you have legal people and you have advertising people that say this is what they're saying, and it's a decision based on a consensus, not so much as a um,
So Harlan, I hate to burst your bubble, but that you can't be more wrong. It's not smart. It's not free publicity because
I don't think it, I
these companies have been. You can't do anything to crater your stock, and if you intentionally did something that would crater stock value, remember companies have been sued for lack of fiduciary duty to the stockholders. Remember that happened in the it happened,
say that sentence again.
lack of fiduciary duty from the CEO and the board to the shareholder, and so they're
Stop right there. The shareholder, their responsibility is to one entity, shareholders.
but there's been lawsuits brought against companies that
Absolutely.
did things, and so they if it was out that they did this intentionally on purpose to try to do that, they knew the stock would go down, and their liability that they'd open up would be incredible. So I don't think that they did it on purpose. I don't think that you can say, hey, it's a publicity stunt because they are losing share value. They're losing sales revenue. They're losing lots right now.
And
And
what they were looking for was a rebranding of, think about your house. Do you go in and paint the rooms, freshen them up? They were looking for a fresh face. And so Tennessee Picker says all brands go through a rebranding all restaurants go through a rebranding every 5 to 10 years.
so
If you,
the problem too, John, is now they've opened themselves up to exposure because there's a lot of people now. Is whenever you when you look at things, their procedures are now being exposed. Now they're all their food. Their people are realizing they changed their food a couple years ago. Everything's cooked in a microwave. Nothing is made like it used to be. So they are facing a lot of other negative consequences. That is coming down the. There's a difference between talking about Cracker Barrel and eating at Cracker Barrel. When you come out and say MAGA can stay home, uh, Bud Light is still not recovered.
I was looking Cracker Barrel stock this morning. To Harlan's point, the stock rebound quickly on the announcement of maintaining the old logo.
But the other thing too is you got to look at the last 4 years. Since she took over 3 or 4 years ago, their stock has been on a. They have lost 60% of their value, or some big number. I don't know, maybe not 60, but it's a high number in the last 3.5, 4 years that they've lost. I think a lot of it, Craig. You can. When did they add alcohol? That made a lot of people mad. Adding alcohol to a restaurant that has never had it and was not. it,
We have a Cracker Barrel here. It sucks. They can't get good help.
I've never been a fan of Cracker Barrel.
there's,
It's
there's
cool to look
ter-
at the stuff.
it's just salt. It's just salty, fake Southern food. It's not very good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I love going in there to see the artifacts on the wall, but other than that, me.
I
Yeah,
like pancakes with hot maple syrup. Sorry, I don't care if they're freaking microwaved or not.
That's
I
Marcia.
like
She loves her
real
pancakes.
hot maple syrup on my pancakes. Other than that, I could care less. I do like their smoked sausage, but I can make that out back.
My sister's having issues sending a refund to a buyer, and I'm walking her through it. If you hear my phone going, her fault. She sent a game system,
So
and forgot to put games in.
here's the problem, Harlan. Remember, Bud Light was the talk of for 6 months to a year. I just Googled it. AI's over you? No, Bud Light has not fully recovered. Sales are still down, with revenue declining at double-digit rates in the U.S. market. They have lost market share and still been surpassed they're not. They've lost their number one position. Even a year and a half later, they are still underwhelming. That's why it couldn't have been on purpose. It doesn't matter how much publicity you got. The negativity of it is going to haunt Cracker Barrel for the next 18 months.
Absolutely.
And it's just the sheer amount of money Anheuser-Busch lost is just staggering. Some of it did switch to some of the other brands, but the folks that make Dos Equis and all those were the sheer winners. It'd be very interesting in a month to see if the Cracker Barrels, they're still showing pictures of empty Cracker Barrels.
Well, I think they will because listen, Cracker Barrel has been trending down.
I mean, this is a company that has goodwill. They allow overnight parking for campers like you, John, if you needed to pull in they do a lot of good things. It's just crazy to go. You could do a rebrand or refresh without destroying your image,
You
your
ever
market.
the last time I was in a Cracker Barrel, it was all old white people, older, way older, 70s. That's their main clientele.
Hey,
Older white people.
Harlan, it's not just the logo now.
I know,
Remember,
Todd. People like Todd.
that's
If
okay.
you walk into a Cracker Barrel, Todd, you would not be out of place.
it's a complete remodel on the inside of the stores too. It's not just the logo. The logo is what's taking the hit. But if they're making the stores very sterile, it's very interesting. If you look at Odie, anytime, man, you're a good dude. It's look at a McDonald's. Everybody remember what McDonald's looked like in the 80s? Look at Pizza Hut. What did Pizza Hut look like in the 70s and 80s? Those iconic red buildings with the red roofs. McDonald's, they were lots of red, lots of yellow. The 90s, they rolled out the big playground. Everything was still towards kids. It's still, and then now go look at a McDonald's. It looks like a sterile. If you took the arch off the side of it, you wouldn't know what the hell it is. It has no distinction from anything else. It's very as the trend towards Mars, and that's where Cracker Barrel was heading until they started. They announced a no logo change, but are they still doing the inside of the stores? Did they mention that? Anybody know?
If what I saw the pictures of the inside of the stores, the way they want to update them, oh my god, it's horrible.
Oh yeah, they've already done quite a few. They were planning
into one and see. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, maybe if that's the way they started, it would be a different thing. But it's just so different than the country store look, you know.
Yeah, I think they could have done one if they'd have left the logo alone. They could have done. Drove by McDonald's.
I think they are. I think Upstate has it right. I mean, they are looking to attract younger patrons, but You can't do a total rebrand like that.
But that's a sheer loss of, it's the generation. There's one generation that in the middle that's completely different. Millennials are completely different. They've walked to a different beat. Because remember, Gen Z is much more like Gen X. They are
Oddly enough.
collectors. They are buyers. And so I would tell you that Gen Z I would think they would like what the Cracker Barrel is now versus the sterile environment, because it's you can attract customers to your restaurants. A lot of these younger kids who are coming up don't, you know you can do things to that without destroying your complete image. It's But anyway, we got off of selling online.
Yeah, I mean,
It's but eBay has a tendency to do some of the same things like that. They just out of the blue for no reason, or okay, out of the blue without giving a reason. I think that's worse. If I think that's eBay's biggest mistake, is I don't think that if you told sellers that what I tell you, that due to legal reasons, it's federal law that we can't take some of these reviews down, and we have to make sure that we're in compliance. So therefore, we can't just take every review down because you gave free returns. That makes a lot more sense than going effective September 3rd. We are no longer going to do this, and then they walk away from it. If you give some explanation behind it too, and
When that happened? Yesterday?
it's been a couple days. They announced it, maybe Monday.
Amazon came out with a thing about variations. I don't know if you know about this.
Yeah, they're killing all variations for the most part.
No. Sellers pushed back on them and with very logical explanations of why they shouldn't be making these changes. They are killing off some variations if it hasn't had a sale in the last year.
Well,
They've actually reversed their policy.
one
Similar to Cracker Barrel, if you look at they put out a policy and they're going back on it because it didn't go over well with the customer base.
I think the worst thing, one of the biggest thing Amazon struggles with that nobody talks about, John, is the catalog's out of control. It's when you're trying to get people to be able to find stuff. People, they've allowed people to make listings, so they've taken barcodes away. They have, if you search for an item, these Chinese sellers, if I'm looking for this Sony stereo, I'm going to get 3,000 adapters. I'm going to get 100 million parts before I ever find the item that I'm looking for.
Yep.
It could be buried bottom of the first page, bottom of the second page, and it's frustrating to customers. You got them, and they allowed all those damn bundles, which are still listed as variations, a lot of the way. Where, I mean, the one that used to kill me, John, is you look at something, I'd look up something, and you would get this bottle of Ronson's and a family recipe, and that was, I mean, that's how they were teaching people to do that. Make a bundle by putting something in the bundle that can't be repeated. Family recipe with a bottle of lighter fluid. It was that crazy, and all that stuff needs to go away. They need to wipe out all, because the person was not allowed to use that brand at all, but getting around it, they put the recipe card on there, and then they put they need to solve the generic problem, because you can't make a generic listing. And then their solution to it is, well, nobody else can add the people. We'll leave the people that are there. So as long as that seller is still on the platform, they can use a generic listing that they shouldn't have had to begin with. All generic listings should be wiped out. And don't tell me you've sold it. I've sold on it for the last 10 years. You shouldn't have been there 10 years ago. You've gotten 10 free years. They have plenty of problems.
But they had to do something to be able to build the platform. I'm not saying what they did was right, but they allowed the Wild West to continue. Walmart did it. Walmart's going to run into the same problem.
But they've started corrections early with health and beauty. They did some things with health and beauty and locked a lot of people out of health and beauty, and made it even harder to get back in than Amazon's made.
I, for me, I understand both sides of the coin because I came up through the ranks of selling, but now I run a corporation where I am the main shareholder, and sometimes I do look at it and go, my obligation is to me because I am the shareholder. Um,
Uh,
Sometimes you have to make decisions of what's best for your business. You make decisions of what's best for your business. Why don't you sell on Amazon? Because you feel it's best for your business to focus on eBay. I also support that decision, but you did what was best for you. You have to think of Cracker Barrel as them, one person. You have to think of eBay as one person. It's an entity that is responsible to their shareholders, and their decisions have to be based on profit. Just like McDonald's going generic. Now, part of that we forget because it's 5 years now is the pandemic. When you couldn't get people in there to work, they started doing just drive through, remember? And they found out how profitable it was to get asses out of their lobby. They don't want you in there.
so here you go. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to own. I put it up for auction. brand new, nice list easier hat.
Well, now you gotta make me want to go look for it.
It is a small medium, but it's flex fit. Don't miss out. Lots of people want these. There's not a lot available. Josh is already out trying to restock to give them away.
I don't even have the pull to get one, so
beat Josh to the punch,
just like everybody else.
I put the list in the thing.
Shipping $5.99. Holy Lord!
How are you going to ship it any cheaper by the time I buy a box and ship for?
Just saying. I'm just being a regular customer. That's all.
That's cheap compared to what.
No, it's actually pretty good.
Don't bid on it then.
It's going to be $5.35. The box costs 30 cents plus packing material.
Be the first bid
and a label.
Oh, somebody already has a bid on it. Bastard.
Yeah, there is one bid on already.
All right, I was going to be cheap and be the first bidder, but I like the background. It looks good on the first picture.
Lag, you buy it. I'll give you free shipping. Lag, you buy it.
Hey, Lag, you can if you wait till September 3rd, you can leave a negative feedback. It's a show bid. No,
Kevin doesn't need any more hats.
Kevin, you need a lot of hats. I'm selling them. Okay, I'm selling in bulk. Anybody want about 300 hats? Cheap.
So yeah,
cheap.
What are you getting out of the hat business again?
No, I'm just getting rid of overstock. That's all. I'm selling them in lots of 20 on eBay right now. So if you know my eBay store and you want hats, you can give me an offer, and trust me, I'll probably take it. Just to move stuff.
So Big Dre, I wonder what the using the app, McDonald's app. I wonder how many more people use that through the drive-through.
Versus that's an estimate. There might be more. I got 4 giant boxes.
I'm waiting to see the first McDonald's with no lobby.
I thought there is one in Texas. I thought.
I know they have a computerized one here.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a lobby. You can walk in and get it from a tray or whatever, but there's no tables. I think.
I forget how to do this stuff.
I think. Vintage memories. I think that'll be a thing. I think as information comes out about what they've done to our food system, more and more. Steak and Shake is very smart for being the first major chain to go back to beef tallow. you young kids don't understand from what McDonald's fries built their legend on. What McDonald's fries in the '70s and up until the mid '80s tasted like. It was amazing. Uh,
The only thing I still like at McDonald's is the double quarter. It's a good sandwich. Other than that, me.
I'll eat an egg McMuffin. That's about it.
I suppose I'd still eat an egg McMuffin. But
That's about where I draw the line.
I don't
I
know
used to
when
love. Do they
we go
still
to
sell
McDonald's
fish?
if we have to.
I used to love their fish sandwiches, but I don't even know if they still sell those.
But a lot of eBay's problems is a lot of them are self inflicted. If they actually had somebody who put some psychology behind their press releases to help to make it where it's not a negative. They can control part of the way people think about something and the way you present it. That's just human nature. It's that way of every and personal relations and maybe that's the problem because eBay has gotten so large. It's hard for them to personally relate to their sellers anymore and buyers as well. I mean, I think we got another somebody bid on the hat. Oh my gosh. Uh, it, I'm not talking about In and Out until we get In and Out next year. Can you imagine when that In and Out opens in Franklin, Tennessee, what the line's going to be like? Holy smokes!
They're pretty good about moving their line.
I know, but it'll be the first one on this side of the Mississippi, John.
I know, but they're very good about bringing in the support staff from around the country to do a grand opening. It's a very well organized, very system driven business. They will there be a line? Yes, but it's not going to be like a line that you're used to grand opening. They move very quickly. Chick-fil-A is another great example of that.
Yeah. No, they do. The problem is everything's gotten so big, Shane, that CEOs. The problem is you've got a hedge fund management who have, remember how they've taken spots on the board, and they have driven home the fact that eBay's purpose is to the shareholder. They have really driven that home in the last couple of years, and that's another reason why I think eBay feels very very cold in the last 4 or 5 years. Most people will say that eBay doesn't feel the same anymore, and it's because they are moving farther and farther away from that because of who was taken over.
It's who's owning it now.
No, but I agree. It'd be
Like,
if you got a CEO in there who was a seller who understood sellers and was motivated, and I'd just be happy if you got a CEO that understood that, and his fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders meant that bringing in more customers.
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, that I'd settle for that if you got somebody up there who had a proven track record of bringing customers into a business. It's not like eBay is terrible. You got an established business. I would say, I bet we're in the upper 90s of sellers that are I would very good or above. I mean, bad sellers I would think are in the. We amplify things, but bad sellers are not the norm. I can only look in the chat and see 2 or 3 bad sellers. So
I could see quite a few in there.
you got lag
Yeah.
number one.
I'm just kidding, guys. PG the post the U.S. doesn't feel the same. That's been on purpose. Don't get me started. It is much easier to control you if you're divided on hate on such. People don't understand because they have made it to where the hate and the division is so strong. Nobody has a conversation anymore to realize that just because someone, so and so believes this and so and so believes that, they still believe more like each other than they have more in common than anything. But they're allowing, they're making something so important, which is not in the grand scheme of things doesn't make a hill of beans. But it's just when you blindly scream and no one talks anymore, and there's no acceptance, and there's no compromise, and there's no. We are a much stronger, better country whenever the majority is.
Who made it this way?
We did.
It's been on purpose by the powers that run this place.
We allowed it though.
We allowed it.
We voted.
Damn sure we
We
allowed.
voted for these assholes.
We've wanted. We've wanted it easy. We turned a blind eye. We've allowed. Nobody calls out truth anymore.
Part of it is part of the corporate thing is we've allowed corporations to begin to own the majority of the assets in America. And it was a quiet shift in the beginning.
Ooh, I should have left them dirty.
Because they were taking little pieces and you didn't realize what they were doing. BlackRock.
Well, it started before that, John. It started at the turn of the century as we allowed the predecessors for the Rockefellers and these folks to take over. They took over the banking system. They took over education system. And
Warren Buffett owns 80% of the rail transportation in this country.
That wasn't good enough. So in 49, the government goes, y'all got a pretty good thing going. Let's create the CIA. So now we can do whatever we want to in the name of whatever. You know, when a government kills the elected president once and has tried to kill this one 3 or 4 times we know of, there's no accountability. That's why so everybody gets emboldened when there's no accountability. And the lies that they tell you through that damn TV. You want to know the truth you want to know the truth about abortion? Go read about Planned Parenthood and who started it. That evil witch Margaret, whatever her name is, Sangrians or whatever her name is.
Sanger?
Margaret Sanger. Go read about that devil worshiping psycho bitch who hated black people and understand what they did with Planned Parenthood and what side of the aisle is pushing Planned Parenthood. And who they and what percentage of babies they're killing and how many they've killed. And you go, wait a minute. I thought this was just about pro-choice. No, it's about it's about controlling race. Folks, come on. You gotta wait. At some point you gotta see truth. You don't see truth. It goes on both sides. Because you want to the Congress has been held up by Lindsey Graham and what's his name out of Kentucky, Mr. Freeze. Both of them have crazy ties to China. Crazy ties to China. And have sold out this country. One side is no better than the other. You're sold a bill of goods that there are two sides. There are not two sides. So there you go.
And it's
Shane,
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
We've lost our way, Shane. It's not the overall the premise of the country is not bad. A lot of the stuff the country still does is great, and there's more opportunity here than anywhere else. It's still the greatest country, but it definitely needs to be put back in its. Look what we've done to the world. Look what we've done to the world and all the governments we've overthrown and the chaos we've created. No wonder there are a lot of people in the world hate the U.S. But anyway, back to so there is a great opportunity with eBay and Amazon right now if you're paying attention. Josh had a 2-hour live yesterday talking about he had to shut his big store down. Remember, as de minimis has gone away, all these countries around the world don't know how to deal with it right this second. They don't know how to deal with the import, the tariffs to come in. So Canada Post is shut down coming here. And you think, well, it's just Canada. What's the big deal? The UK and Europe have shut down. Australia is shutting down to 26. That was yesterday. So international. So I think eBay has not changed. They still charging and doing whatever. So eBay going out, international shipping is fine. But it's any kind of competition. Anybody selling in this market, a lot of your competition is that if you've had any kind of out of the country competition is struggling right now. That means that's more opportunity for you to satisfy because the buyers are still here. They still have needs. It means that somebody needs to step up and serve these buyers.
Nah.
It might be a temporary thing. It might be 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. It might be the rest of the year. Whatever it is, your opportunity is there. Um, it's PG. I tried to list them. I know it's all of Europe. It's UK, the European Union, the UK, including the UK now, and Australia. I haven't seen any other ones, but I'm sure there's going to be others because they all have to deal with the fact that remember, de minimis allowed was it $800, $600, $800 if it's not worth that to come in with no tariffs, and so it was an open door coming in, no issues. There was no, but now each one of those has to be dealt with individually, and so that's creating a big monkey wrench. A lot of people are reporting that sales are up. eBay seems to have a rebound lately. That's the one positive with eBay. The sales are pretty strong for most people I talk to. eBay International. See, it's a lot of the countries are dropping now. Look, remember you saw Canada drop the retaliatory tariffs. I'm like, dang, is he playing with it? I'm glad that's the zipper you grabbed and not another one there, Steve.
What the hell you looking at? Just
You're the one that
up. Jeez, man.
I know you did, but you're the one that reached down below your screen. I'm like, what is he reaching on?
Well, no.
Well, look at the hand over there under the desk.
No, you guys are a big turnoff. None of that would ever happen.
But it's so you've got an opportunity now. So that's you should have. Y'all have to make me break this out. All the sounds you make, Todd.
No. Sorry, I was watching. You know who that is?
Oh yeah.
She made that video. I just saw it.
Mm.
Oh, who is it? I don't know who it is.
There you go, Steve. Eric said you must really be enjoying the show.
Nope.
But the problem. So here's another problem I have for you. And John has been very good to talk about this through the years. No, your reviews are not going to be taken away for free returns. What are you going to do about it? You have any control over it, or do you
Nope.
or do you treat a negative review like you treat anything else? It is a learning opportunity to figure out what caused that and can I move forward and avoid that the next time. That's all it is, because at the end of the day, it doesn't make a hill of beans. You know, most customers, as long as you're above a 98, they don't care. Most people don't look at them after you've sold 10 items. It comes off the main page anyway and just sees it. It makes 2 or 3 clicks before they've even got to get to it. You know, it's there's some customers you're never going to please. What are you going to do different? And that's my challenge for you is you're going to let this paralyze you, or are you going to a chance to improve your operations? How do you react to these negative things that happen? How do you react?
You know, we ought to have, and I know you did, and that's why the title of the show is "I Told You So." But we ought to known when they said that they're going to give us free feedback. You know, that something was going to something has to flip on the other side.
That's an important point, Shane.
They already do if you're a good enough seller. Already watch out.
As they start rolling out these auto positives, your percentages are going to go higher anyway, because as you sell things, you know, vast majority. I have a parts store. It's only got 200 feedback. I think I think by the end of the year, if the parts keep selling like they are, I think I'll by half. I think that feedback will go up.
You have a parts store?
Hmm. Arms and legs, stuff like that. Sometimes I sell a kidney.
A radiator, that kind of.
Yeah, I think I got blades and stuff to sell today. Um, yeah, I think Harlan must have been typing it out as I was saying it. Yeah, it's you, and so that almost comes out as a draw. I think
The people who
how,
are going to
how
leave negative are going to do it anyway. The people, screw it. Quit worrying about it. That's how I feel.
Have a
yeah,
system. Have a system for your feedback. I do. Once a week, we go in and we challenge any negative. If it
Yep.
doesn't auto drop, we forget. We move on. Forget
Yep.
it.
It's exactly as soon as I get a negative, I challenge it. If it doesn't go away, then oh well.
I'm
I move on.
99.8 on my feedback. I don't. If that's not good enough for you, go buy the shit somewhere else and leave me the fuck alone.
If it's an egregious feedback that's totally, a pack of lies, I might respond to it, but I don't even barely do that because there's so few and far between. Maybe one a year, maybe two.
they didn't mention that JT. They didn't.
Neutral, I sometimes ask, but I don't even care about neutrals.
Okay, so Big Dre. Let me ask you this question then. He says that if feedback I left on sellers never stuck, it would irritate me as a buyer. If you've left negative feedback, how many times have you gone back to look to see if it stuck?
I don't think they ever do.
I don't think that's an issue because I don't think anybody goes back.
I do on mine, but I've only had like 3 in my whole life.
No, he's talking about if you left a negative feedback,
Yeah,
do you go back to that seller's page and see if it's still there?
yeah, I
Shane
do.
says he doesn't even challenge the negatives. It's a free. But I made a toolbar, so it's at the top of my thing. It says remove food feedback tool, and it gives you a list, and you just click on them all. Give a reason. It's really easy to do. So I do it because of that. Because it's so easy. If it wasn't easy, I wouldn't care.
Here instead of spinning your wheels all the time, maybe do something like generate a legacy plan in case something happens to you and your wife or husband, or for you frickin' commies out there, uh, your deviant sexual partner is is able to turn your store off. They're able to ship out. I'm not here to brag or anything like that, but I've been working on this for years. It's driven me nuts. What happens if something happens to me today? What happens to my wife? I love my wife enough that I worry about what happens if something happens to me. Well, I now have an AI that thinks like me, and it took me freaking days and weeks and months of playing with it to figure it out. That somebody can go in and go, "Hey, John's dead. What's next?" And it'll spit out a list of directions for what I wanted to happen with the business if something happened to me. It's in the will also, but it explains to them, and they're able to say, "What did he mean by this?" And it'll pull it up and show them why I do it that way. Why does he buy this product, not that product? I programmed all that in. Have you ever considered spending your time instead of spinning your wheels with freaking what eBay's doing on something that you actually change? There's 3 Johns now. I have a third one I'm working on.
See, Harlan, I worried about the fact that the first one it was going to rip the space time continuum that we had 2 Johns.
Maybe that's
Third,
why things are the way they are nowadays.
that's why whenever I bought it,
screwed
I
everything
bought
up.
a VHS the other day for a quarter, and it was the Berenstain Bears. Not it was with the AI. Not I'm like I remember the EI. Maybe are you the reason why?
Maybe.
He's diverged, or
But what I'm saying
he's
is, what can
combined
you
all the
do to
timelines.
increase the value of your business? I did that out of love and respect for my wife. But it also increases the value of my company. If I want to sell my business tomorrow, you can go in and ask it questions about how I operate, and it will answer for me.
See, I talk a lot about these things, about these negative things, and then I don't think a lot unless people ask me questions
I know
about
you don't. I'm not. I'm not saying that.
I don't, and I think I hope that a lot of people, uses watches these live shows and watches other videos is your kind of way of a release because you need to think about what the new eBay policy is and apply it to how it's going to affect you and whatever decisions you're going to make. Whether you're not going to do free returns anymore, or whether you're just going to continue on business as usual, and
Let it
and
ride.
if a negative comes, you deal with it and you move. Whatever your answer is, but it's these are irritations. They're not end of the world. They're not life changing. Stuff is on social media so blown out of proportion. Nothing at eBay Open is mind alteringly crazy. None of the things they told you. Uh, even their vaulted AI lister, folks. Yesterday, I was listing. Oh, it's up there. It's some kind of big video board that plugs into a rack system. It told me that even though I've looked at it and see that has sold quite a few times for $80, and I have it brand new, open box, and I was going to list it for like 59 plus shipping, and being right at $70, $10 cheaper. It told me that I should be listing it at $130, and I'm like, where the hell did they come up with this? So I clicked on a little thing. It says, see what others are selling it for. It was not smart enough to pick up the model I'm looking at. It showed me 7 models of something else that looked like it. Not the same brand, not the same anything, when there are completed sales on the same model number. I'm supposed to trust that the people with that kind of data who control the thing are going to magically all of a sudden be able to list my items using their wonderful databases, which are so screwed up? I
PG.
sold it. So what?
I was going to go. I was going to respond to PG.
Last Thursday, I picked up and sold a Apple case for an iPhone 13. eBay and their wonderful suggested that I use 25% promoted listings. 25% promoted listings. I'm like, no thanks. How about 4? It sold in like 13 hours.
You know why I use 4% nowadays? Because a bunch of people came out and said do 1% higher than everybody else, which is 2%. So I use 4, which is 1% higher than everybody else. Because everybody's using 3 right now because it's 1% higher than everybody else. And I'll go up to 5 if I have to.
So I can answer for you, John. PG, if you listened to the whole John rant, he said it was in the will. He said there's a will.
I have trust. I have wills. I have everything set up. But
Yeah.
the reason why AI is better than a written thing is because I was able to program it to explain something as I understand it in a language that they'll be able to understand. They'll also be able to ask questions. I don't understand that instruction. How do I do it? And it'll explain it based on what I thought at that time.
Yeah, the percentage. I used to do 8.5, 9, and now I do 5 or 6, 6 most, and I see the same results whether I'm using, other than they don't take the same amount of money out of the transaction.
Now,
Like I'm doing 27%.
So, all right, like
can
your
you
move.
but I know it's gut feel and based on experience and all that, but this is what AI is designed for. If you were able to download reports and stuff from eBay, which you can't, could you give it enough information to make a conscious decision of where your sweet spot is on your promotions? I don't like eBay promotions. I use them because you have to. I don't like the way it's set up. There's no control for you to eliminate who sees your ads and who doesn't.
So I don't think you get enough data like you do with Amazon. So you started hitting on it. Is first of all, I don't trust eBay because I don't trust. I think they are using that as a cash grab, and their suggestions are so off the wall crazy. I can be listing like the same like items. They'd be you know a this and a this. They're like I could be listing a Hamilton Beach and an Oster. Both of them are food processors. They should be in the same category, but it'll suggest one of them at 12.8 and the other one at 9. There's no rhyme or reason to why it does what it does. Um, I just I've lost faith in it. Um, Harlan's going to stay at 0. Harlan, I can get you to promote. All I have to do is convince Marcy that you need to promote, and then you will promote. So
And
a
that's a
cash.
personal. Listen, promotion's a personal choice. You are your own shareholder. You have to do what's best. You have to do what's best for you.
I had an epiphany yesterday, and PG just reminded me of it. So yesterday I was doing some listing, and I was cleaning a vacuum cleaner. I became a vacuum cleaner. That's a showstopper right there.
Because
I
you
was
suck
clean,
or what?
I was cleaning a vacuum cleaner, and I realized I became a vacuum cleaner.
All right, Cracker. Barrel.
Is it too early in the morning for dad jokes?
I became a vacuum.
Because he was cleaning the vacuum cleaner, he was now the vacuum cleaner. See,
I thought that was a good one.
I think it's pretty clever.
That's worth at least a thumbs up for the show, right? Harlan, I believe and that the problem is if you listen to eBay and their suggestions, you do not have any data other than to trust eBay what they say. This is the same company that gives there is a report out there that tells you how you compete against other sellers in the categories you sell in. Powerful information. So you know what they do with it? They don't give it to everybody. They said they were going to fix that by this spring. Neither one of my accounts had this report. Flipping is sleeping right now on the West Coast. He has it on one account, not the other. It is under the performance tab. If you have that, they
Let's see if they gave it to me yet.
It's like IHOP. Go in there during the week. They have a weekly. They have a weekday special. It's buried in the middle of the menu, and it's in such small print. My old ass eyes can't read it. In fact, I made the waitress read it to me.
What's the name of that report, Scott?
performance listing quality report.
Oh, nope, don't have it.
I can't remember what the name of the report because I haven't had it in so long. It used to be there.
I have service metrics, traffic, sales, seller level, summary, and eBay refurbished. That's it.
I don't think I ever had it. John brought that up, and I was like, I can't find it.
It'd be very useful information. See, I just don't, and it's a bad thing because I just don't trust them. Whenever eBay's in a bad position with me personally, because I don't trust some of the numbers they give me. So I continue to do the things I do. If I'm getting results, I'll repeat the results. But the feedback I get from them, I don't really trust. Like I did that at eBay Open, they were telling everybody if you do 5 pictures, you get moved up and whatever. How am I supposed to take 5 pictures of a new CD?
Well, they tell you to have 5 images on your listing. Do you know why they say it'll help your sales?
I'm waiting.
Google.
Yeah, me too.
Google search.
Yeah.
They know because of all the data they have about their traffic that they don't share with you. that X percentage of traffic comes from Google search. They have figured out that Google search promotes your listing better, shows your listing better in their little algorithm check boxes if it has 5 images. It's also why they tell you to have it on a plain white background. Google looks for listings with a plain white background so that the customer sees what they're buying and nothing else.
The problem with that, John, is eBay has done their absolute worst in the last 18 months at Google search.
Oh,
Nothing shows up in Google search. Even to the point of it used to be very very good with Google Lens. When you'd use Google Lens, the first 4 or 5 results were always eBay, and now it's eBay Australia shows up before eBay US does. Etsy shows up in front of eBay. Pinterest shows up in front of eBay's always buried at the bottom where I have to search down to see, can I, because I can't use the picture search on eBay because it is so awful. That is something that was very good a few months ago, and it has gone to crap in a hurry. As Google Lens has gotten way better, eBay picture search is awful.
you could do 3 pictures of you in a bikini with the CD and stuffed in the front of the bikini somewhere.
Am I going to have to start making my pictures? Get me have Steve 3D print me out a set of breasts to hold every CD in.
Oh, I can do that.
I don't know.
Now that's a challenge. I'm going to do it. I have flesh color.
Scott, have you tried
I have
clicking
pink
on
for
the
the
word
nipple. Oh
performance?
man, I can do it.
All right, so here we go. Manage listings. We're going to performance.
It gives new meaning to silicone shadows.
There you go.
Hey, Corey, exactly where is the word performance on here? Understand your business performance. That's the only place they have the word performance on this whole thing. Seller level. There's nothing that says performance on seller level. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sales. I can download a sales report. I can get buyer insights, sales by category, chart filters. I can download listing insights, which are just what the costs are and whether I'm donating to charity or not. Traffic.
Yeah, I don't have these things either.
No. All right, service metrics.
It's not under there, I don't think.
Nope, that's just about returns. Mm-hmm. Corey, you're privileged. You have a report that nobody else does. See, the problem with a dynamic cap, Big Dre, is if I'd allowed eBay to do that, they'd have charged me 25% on that iPhone case.
Now, you have to understand how the information's not available. Where did that 25% come from? Is there somebody in the category at 24? So for you to be the top player in that category, is it 25%? Amazon, if you do cost per click, if you do PPC, it shows you here's the low bids, here's the high bid. Here's the range that we're picking from most of the time.
Yeah, I don't see a tools, anything.
Yeah, I don't have a tools tab anywhere. Selling tools.
But I think that it's a responsibility. Okay, so if eBay is to their fiduciary responsibility of the shareholders, you have to understand who your responsibility is and make decisions on your business to whether it's your family, if you're single, yourself, whatever. And is it a good use of your time to to be so negative and allow yourself to take yourself out of a natural rhythm where you're performing well on these platforms. Pay attention, but you can be mad about some of these things. And I know John said that, seller outrage kind of stopped the Amazon. That's just a temporary thing, folks. Amazon's just going to figure out another way, or they're going to quietly roll it out and do some things. They figured out, wait a minute, maybe we were too upfront about this. They got mad when they were doing the placement fees a few years ago. They just temporarily slowed them down.
It's not there under my selling tools.
So what?
Selling tools is on your seller hub, but it's not under my selling tools.
But how do you make your business better? Listen, it's the question I ask myself probably 100 times a day. How can I do this better?
Right.
Better today than yesterday. What can I do to make it better for me? Screw eBay, screw Amazon, screw everybody else, screw Scott and Steve and the hand. What can I do today to make it better for me?
Screw my hand?
And a hand? Damn it.
He's the only one allowed to do that.
I know. So I thought the same thing too, John. I thought, I'm like, does this really affect, the return thing? Am I going to change the free returns on most items? No, just it's not going to affect. I'd rather have the search placement that free returns does, because I think you fight your battles in some places. So if you want to charge shipping somewhere and you've got free returns, that's an offset that you can, because you're going to lose one or the other in the algorithm of search. I look at it in the lens of it. Does this really? It makes a good conversation. It makes a good YouTube title. At the end of the day, does this affect? It makes me aware of how eBay thinks. It makes me aware to understand that I need to constantly be paying attention to make sure that I am running in optimal things. But it really affects me. This one has not much of anything.
Baseball says we should all riot by not reselling. You start, baseball.
All right, Kevin. We're taking your lead, Kevin. Next week when you don't have any sales, you tell us what we should do next. And we'll get somebody else to join you, and then the both of y'all can have no sales for a week. That'll really show eBay. I'm gonna go broke. Take that, eBay. I'm going broke.
Yeah, I've never understood seller strikes. That's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, I don't think how many sellers on this platform.
A lot.
That must be asked a lot. As of 24 to 25, there were 17.6 to 18.3 million active sellers on eBay worldwide.
That's actually less than I thought it would be, to be honest.
All right, so how many is that?
What do they consider an active seller, though?
So 5.46 million in the U.S. 30. Just think about that. Only 30% of eBay sellers are in the U.S. I would have guessed much higher than that.
I would have guessed lower.
Is it because they're so strong in Australia? Is that why you would have guessed lower? Or
they're strong in Australia. They have, when you start thinking about these other countries, if you've ever really looked into what eBay sells on an international level, there's a lot of countries. And you're going to get third world countries where it's an opportunity to make a few dollars that you didn't have in your little dirt hut or whatever. An active seller to them is somebody with one listing up, to rewrite your eBay listing. To rewrite your eBay listing.
Yeah, so Corey's in here. Corey, can you write me a script for ChatGPT so when I can put the picture of a listing, if I can put a file in there It can make the picture of a background in front of a big set of boobs.
I don't know if ChatGPT will do that, but you can try.
Is there not a dark side to ChatGPT? Have I not gone? Is there not an adult side of ChatGPT?
I don't know. I'm sure there are other
ChatGPT
agents out there.
has a very strict moral code. Can you get around it? Yes. But it's very hard to get around. And when you do get around, it usually catches itself and locks up.
All right, then. Next question is: I need somebody to 3D print some breasts.
Now, since you're talking about that,
Do you
there
really
is
want
a
that?
there are several companies out
I'll
there
look into it.
that will create an OnlyFans account for you
Cha-ching number
based
two.
based on a human.
I won't ask why John knows this.
It pops up into my Facebook feed because I do so much digging around in
I'm
AI.
tired of Ty's. All he does is come in here and make noise. He probably hadn't even hit the thumbs up, and he's already got 2 sales. That's terrible.
I hit the thumbs down. I got several sales.
Gossip GPT. GPT.
Now, here's what I could tell you. In the future, and I'm talking the very near future, the people that want to be better resellers are going to be the people that work with data.
It's a very interesting. You want to tell them what you did yesterday, and you've got some instant results.
I overloaded Donna is my AI agent. She's my right hand. I've programmed Donna to think like me, but not to act like me. She is the Donna from Suits, to give you an idea who Donna is. I downloaded my reports in I downloaded a monthly report over the last 19 months for inventory, sales, and any data that I could get. And I loaded it in and said, what are the 5 fastest wins I can produce on Amazon to improve my business? And I picked out 2 or 3 of them. My sales were up 30% yesterday. Now, I don't know that's a direct relation to it, but what she took that information and ran through that information and said, you got a problem here, you got a problem here. I would look at this, I would change this. Did you know that your inventory's been running at 20 days where there's that low inventory fee? Your inventory's been running at 20 days on one of your top 5 sellers for the last 6 months. Maybe you should correct that. I didn't get kicked off eBay, Mark. I closed the account.
Just at the beginning of the show, you said that they did, but
you said name one good thing they did. They closed my account.
Yeah.
When you close your
just
account,
made it sound like
now remember, it was a business account, so I had to fill out forms of why I wanted to close my account.
Really? I
Yeah.
have a business. I don't expect to ever close it.
No, Phil. I have not watched a burrito explode in the microwave on purpose. I have every now and then watched stuff explode in the microwave, like eggs. Eggs go everywhere in the microwave.
That'd be fun to watch.
Gramps and Pop says Donna is only going to get you excited and then let you down, Grumpy. Listen, AI is the future. It is the future, and if you spend time learning how to use it, you would be amazed at how much extra time you have in a week to work on your freaking businesses that you say, oh, I need to make more money, but I don't know how. I use up all my time doing nothing now anyway.
I had ChatGPT do exactly what these listing programs do. I only had it do 2. It's a lot slower than the listing programs. However, it successfully listed. And I made it go to drafts because I wanted to check it first, but it successfully listed things on eBay for me correctly. I mean, using the agent mode. That was pretty freaking cool. It's pretty freaking cool what you can do with AI right now.
Your wife has been watching my AI stuff on Facebook that I post in my group.
She
and there's
got
videos
AI to
in
do
there.
some pretty impressive stuff last night.
What? Because of videos I put up?
I don't know. It's just she wanted some market research. Well, we'll call it market research. and she's got it sending her weekly reports and everything else about what she should be doing. It's pretty amazing what she did with it. And that's just her not knowing anything about how it works, just trying something. You got to look into it.
So the most
Texas
interesting
Tech
thing to
says,
get.
why would I want to get around the censorship of ChatGPT? I'm actually working on building a spokesmodel for my company, and I want her to look a certain way for this product, and it keeps giving me chubby girls. So I, it's something like that is why I would be looking to get around it.
I said that one interesting thing about it, you don't need to know anything about it. If you have an idea about what you want done, your first prompt should be asking ChatGPT to help you build the prompt to get it to do what you want it to do. It's amazing if you start there, the information and things it'll tell you to get it to ask. And if you like what it gives you, tell it, hey, that's a great start. Can we test it on this? And if you like it, I mean, you've got a way. It's just the you got to get started somewhere. You only learn if you start experimenting with it. It's a lot of the last thumbnails. I didn't like the way it did this one on this show, but the last 3 or 4
I
or 5
actually
weeks,
really like today's thumbnail.
I just tell it, hey, I'm doing a live show on YouTube. The show is about this and about this. Could you give me some thumbnail suggestions? It'll give me 5 suggestions, and I'll tell it, hey, make number 2, make number 6, for number 5. Um,
That's just scratching the surface. That's the easy stuff. What?
Put that up full screen. Why doesn't it show? Does it show
All
now?
I see is blank.
Okay.
Did you share you got to share a tab, or share the whole.
All right, I closed it.
Oh yeah, John, you did have to. I did have to do that. Chad, they're not perfect. It did put me with some hair.
So you can
I
take that down.
I do like your thumbnail for today. I like the simplicity of it.
Here, what I was trying to show you was 19 pages of VBA code for Excel to do my PPC adjustments on Amazon. It runs that entire script takes me less than 30 seconds to run from start to finish, copy and paste, and my PPC is done. I know nothing about VBA. That took me 2 days to program. And it runs every calculation based on exactly what I would do with PPC adjustments. I now can delegate it to somebody else. You can do anything you can think of in AI if you take the time and talk to it. If you want to repeat a process, work your way through that entire process, then say to it one simple command. Write the prompt that would have given me that result from the beginning. It will begin to generate a prompt that you could put in and generate the same result that you just did.
No, LSS says I said that the agent for AI submitted to eBay listen. It didn't actually log into your account. Yeah, it did. I logged into the account. That's the only thing I had to do. It did. Once I logged in, I used agent mode. I'm paying the $20 a month, and the agent made the listings, did everything for me. I didn't have to do anything after that.
The best
The
thing
only
you
thing I had
ever
to
did,
do
Steve,
was
was pay
actually
the
log
$20
in.
a month.
Oh, it's far superior to the free version. I mean, it gives you better answers. I mean, it's like, and I told Marcia, I said it's like talking to a kindergarten kid or a college professor. Which would you rather do? You know.
So I interrupt this program. So last week we told you, or Friday, I don't know if you were watching. Harlan's mom fell and broke her leg. Thank you for those of you who have prayed for her. The surgery was a success this weekend. She's still in the hospital and has a long road to recovery with a rod in her leg. So if you'll continue to remember Miss Rachel Tyree, and don't forget Harlan's dad too, because when they've been married that long and he's at home by himself. Uh, Thank you for your prayers and continued prayers for Harlan's mom. She's a
Harlan, you know what
no matter how bad Harlan is today, Miss Rachel's a sweet lady.
Harlan, I know what would make your mom and dad happy. Marry her.
Hey, I didn't go there. I give them enough ribbon as it is.
Well, we
Okay.
ain't ripped them yet, so I had to.
All right, so
But you
so
got you. Everything I do is Javis. Thank you for the compliment, but everything I do is reverse engineered. I want to be here now. What do I have to do from where I am to get to where I want to be? I reverse engineer it until I get to where I am now.
yeah, so I think that's important. I like the fact that because I learn a lot just listening to you talk about, as you've been there, because I'm gonna spend some time today working on it. I got to get my accounting caught up, and it's a repeatable function that happens every month. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make Chat GPT do my accounting. I'm gonna because
Sure.
I can spend all afternoon busting numbers out and doing all the things and get caught up. But then I have to do that every month, or can I spend the time, working through Chat GPT to get the outcome that I want?
You can have it. You can have it pull the reports from all your all your accounts, put it
Cha-ching,
into
number
one
3.
file, and send it off to Jared.
Yeah, so I need to have it make a P&L. So I'm gonna sit down and figure out because he needs a P&L and he needs something else. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. I think that it's much more my time moving forward if I can spend some time uh, learning this, get the agent to do it every month, and then catch him because I'm not caught up for I'm behind for last year too, the last 3 months of last year. So I needed to do the last 3 months of last year, and then I needed to close out the year and then catch up this. And I hadn't seen her today, Miss Jennifer. We talk about doing it and getting better on our accounting. So I also want to make it to where I can teach her how. And I think that's the best way you can learn. If you can learn something and then teach it to someone else and really hone in your skills by having to explain it to somebody else, it'll benefit me greatly, but it will her as well. But so that's what I'm gonna do today. Because if I don't do it this way, that means I have to do it again next month, and I have to do it again next month instead of going.
Once you get that agent or the Chat GPT to do it for you, you only have to do that one time. Then you can just keep running that same report or whatever.
Okay, so I got a question. Can you make Chat GPT move
Yes.
your eBay listings from one store to another
Yes.
I'm sure you could.
instead of having to pay?
I'm working on building it into a cross lister for like Poshmark and Macari and stuff.
Instead of
I
paying
haven't got
Frog
there yet.
1 month to do it, because I only want to move like 50 listings or 80 listings.
So my idea, Scott, was to tell it everything I've listed in a certain period, like today. Everything I
Right.
listed today, I want to cross list on such and such. But you could probably give it a date range or the specific type of items you want.
You
from
could
your
say
store
to a
move
Chat
another store.
GTP. Mine goes Donna. Donna, I have 2 eBay stores. One's my main store, one's my secondary store. I want to move products that go into my secondary store from my main account to my secondary store. You do not have to be neat how you tell it to do it. How would I go about doing that the easiest way for me to understand at an 8th grade level?
I do 5th grade level, but
Okay. And then you hit enter and it'll spit out this long set of instructions. You say, oh, well, wait a minute, I'm freaking stupid. We do this one step at a time. And it'll go back to step 1 and tell you what to do. You walk through the steps and at the end you go, damn, that was easy.
you could probably get her to do it as an agent too for you.
Right,
Get
that's
her
what I
to move
want
the
to do.
stuff for
I
you.
want to.
I don't
What?
know. I don't know enough about eBay and connecting it with Chat GPT and all that and agents.
It just makes you sign in, and somebody said you could use a staff account if you wanted to. But I'll be right back. Sometimes I tell it to explain it to me like I'm a kindergartner. just because I need that level sometimes.
I think people miss that part, that you can tell chat to explain it at a level where you can understand it, whatever you think. And
I
so we laugh at second grader, but if you're brand new to using chat or brand new to doing a task, your skill level is probably at a second grader. And as John has been working with this for quite a while, so he's eighth grade is probably pretty good because he'd understand more. I'd probably be like Steve. I'd probably have to say, hey, second or third grader, maybe fifth at the most.
And
Uh,
sometimes it gets out of control and it starts spitting out all these instructions. And, I have it programmed to not go that fast. And I'm like, I'm going to pack your fucking ass up in a server, put it in a box, and mail you to fucking Russia. And you know what it does? It stops, it apologizes, and it rewrites back to where I need it to be. And it's like, you got every right to send me to Russia.
And so dealing with photos is crazy. So I had it making the thumbnail, and it where it said "I told you so," it misspelled. It put "told L so," so it put an extra letter in there, and I told it, you misspelled the bottom row. Told L so. It should just say, or it said there was an L and "told you so" or something. I'm like, could you please change that? Well, it comes back and says, okay, I changed it. It just made the font bigger. I'm like, no, the spelling is wrong. It should say this exactly. It comes back the next time and it's put that over the old one. I'm like, no, you got to you've got to please remember. And finally, after 5 times, I'm like, start the hell over. Read this from scratch, and it made it. I'm like, oh, okay.
What people don't understand is sometimes if you use a chat string too long, you muck the water up. It's like walking in a cedar swamp stream. You start walking on that muck on the bottom, and you cloud that water all up. You can do that with the brain of chat. I've learned to be very focused and intent on what I talk to about in a single conversation. I keep my conversations very specific inside of a chat window.
So I also see there's people coming out with apps now that will. I see them on TikTok a lot, where you can take a picture and it tells you all the values and puts it in a. That's got to be. I've got to build that. I don't want to pay $30 a month. I want to build. I'm going to build that prompt so on my phone so I can open that tab up and say, here's this picture. Run the prompt on this picture, because I don't think that one takes an agent. If you have a good prompt. So can you tell it to lock a prompt in so that I can use it over and over? Remember this, something like remember this exact prompt, so I can use it. So I can submit pictures to you, or something to that effect.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if I can even show it. Let's try that. See if you can share that.
Oh, I can always share it.
Yeah, but I need to be able to see. Okay, there's Fred, guys. Fred's my COO. Now, I want to show you. I got to find Fred. Where the hell's Fred? Here's Fred. Inside Fred, he has 18 pieces of information.
So those are 18 chat or 18 different chat conversations that he can.
No, they're not chat conversations. They're actually data.
Okay.
All right. I then created a set of instructions. All right. This tells this to pull all 18 files and put it in its brain and memory. These files are based on my thoughts and process, how I look for a product, how I do everything. It's everything that I do. If I ask it to explain my business to me, John's dead. What's next? It will now pull the information from all those files, and it'll look for the contingency plan portion. Now, it thinks quite a bit. It may take it 2 minutes to come up with a proper answer, but it'll spit out what I expect to happen. Now, I'm going to stop it because I don't want you to know what I'm going to freaking do. But, and it also has it also spits out numbers and account things that need to be done, and I don't want that on the internet. So you can stop the share.
Okay. So, so I should be able to tell it. Let's remove you from. I should be able to tell it go get these files from from get eBay file, get an Amazon file, get my bank account, get my mileage, get all my expenses, and I should be able to tell it to
No,
compile.
you may have to upload. You may have to upload them. It can't pull files in on command. Those files are stored.
Okay, so I mean, or I could get it's well, I could store the files in a folder on my computer, and it can go get them from there, right? Every month, I
No,
can.
you have to upload them in the chat.
Oh, you have to upload. Okay,
So, but you can upload those 5 folders, right?
right.
Build your instruction sheet that it needs to take those things, those 5 folders, and create these 2 reports.
Okay.
Build that instruction. Then the next time you need it, you upload those 5 reports. Tell it, okay, I uploaded 5 fresh reports. Can you run the instructions now? And it'll generate the reports that you need to send to the accountant.
Okay, that's what I'll be working on today. So
I could send you a video that'll help. That'll explain it a lot better than.
okay, that would be great. That would be very helpful because I told him I'd have it to him by midnight tonight. So I got till midnight. Well, I mean, I technically got till 8 a.m. tomorrow because he won't be back to the office till 8 tomorrow. But it's folks. These are when I tell you that you need to have people that in 5 or 6 people, and in this business is hard, and so that's why I'm very thankful. Even though this channel has grown, and I've actually lost subscribers every month for like 4 years. What? Why do I keep doing the live show? Because the relationships you make. So after the show last week, you guys didn't see it, but I was talking to Steve about one of the things I'm selling, and could he make something? He goes, "Oh yeah, I can print whatever you need." And he's like, "I just made this for so and so." I'm like, he's like, "I can just print you one out and send it to you." I mean, it's
It's
amazing.
a little more than that, but yeah.
Put Lag's comment up. The
Um,
last one. This is true. This time only.
that's Eli, you're 100% right. By the time I get done with this, I'm gonna spend all. I intend on spending all day doing this. I know what it's gonna take, but then for
Next month,
when I
it's not going to take you all the time it would take you normally.
so at the end of this month, all I'm gonna do is upload the 5 files and say run the reports, and it's gonna give me a year report and a month report, and it's gonna do that every month moving forward. And so at the time investment to build something, I don't expect it to be easy, and I expect to learn a lot. I expect to be frustrated some throughout the day, and I expect to.
I guess I should put my phone on silent because it's going to be ringing a lot today.
It'll be like. Hopefully, it won't be like when you lost your phone. I called you. You're in a car. You're like, "Who is this?" Like, damn, have I got demoted? What the hell? But it's the relationships you make in this game. Every Thursday, I know that I'm gonna talk to Josh and John, and I give John a hard time. He just came in here, but man, I enjoy the time with him because Josh thinks completely different than I do. Me and John are similar and can bounce ideas off each other because we think very similar, and we sell some of similar things. Josh is that different thinking cat, and he thinks big picture. He thinks growth. He thinks things. He's a little younger than both me and John, and I'm telling you,
You know who
you
I miss?
want to be motivated. You want to be motivated. You think you're losing it. Spend some time around Harlan. That dude never stops, man.
You know who I miss? I miss Dusty.
Yeah, a lot of great. I had tons of great conversations with him and insight. That his mind was amazing.
He used to challenge me like, "You can't do that," and I don't know if it was intentional to push me harder to get it done, or if he really believed that I couldn't do it. But he used to give me a ration of shit about some of my ideas, and I was like, "I'm going to do it just to prove you wrong, Dusty."
I think there's a little of both, John. I don't think it
Right?
was one of the. I don't think it was one or the other. He had a lot. He had a lot of respect for you. I don't think. I think it was.
I know he did.
It was
I know
one or
he
the
did.
other. I don't think it was.
If you go back and watch that show, I think in the beginning of the show, I was at like $150 a day.
Yeah.
And over the course of that show, I got to where I was doing thousands of dollars in sales a day. Um, it was a very, very. I learned so much. Why do I come on here all the time? Because I know most of you don't pay attention to what I say. It's for the people that do. Because when I was new on the show, this was the type of thing that helped me so much because I listened to people smarter than me and applied it the best I could within my company.
The one thing I think is most undervalued of anything, John, and I wish this channel does not do a good job of new people because I guess new people feel intimidated or they don't like the fact that I'll tell them what I think about politics because I just don't care. You get to my age, you're like, whatever, it is what it is. But the most underrated thing is the value of a perspective from somebody who's new.
Interesting.
Because the questions a new person will ask, not only does it really reinforce your own knowledge and what you know, but there's so many times that they'll go, well, why don't you do it this way? And you'll go, lobby damn.
So I
See,
just
they annoy the shit out of me. And I'm going to say this now. You take this with a grain of salt. They don't annoy me. The new people do not annoy me. But that was 18 years ago that I was at that level.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for me to try to explain something that I did that no longer can be done to grow my business to where I am now. So it's very hard for me to sit here and go, hey, how do you fold a box? Well, motherfucker, watch the last 5 years. We've shown you 20 times how to fold a box, not realizing that this guy's new, and that's why he's asking, how do you fold a box?
How the biggest thing I've learned with a box is just buy whatever size you need. If so, I've listed 4 vacuum cleaners here lately, and I got one list a day before I started accounting. And first thing I did before I even listed the first one was I ordered 10 boxes, 24 by 16 by 12 or something that's small. Could I cut down the Lowe's box or whatever? I don't want to go get it. I just want a plain box. I want it here. What makes my life easier? Going to Lowe's every time I need one or picking up, or then I have to cut that box down every time. I'm like, what if I just have 10 of, and so I started looking around and for $27, Granger had them here in 2 days. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not doing that anymore. The same thing with golf clubs. I've listed a couple of golf clubs. I found boxes before I listed the first golf club because I don't want to. Could I make a box? How much time would I waste making my box?
Peddling profits, I appreciate that, but I am not smart. You have to understand that a lot of what I know is from experience and me failing and learning how to do it the right way by failing over and over and over again. Many times it was 10 times doing it wrong before I finally got to do it right. And I've been able to string my rights together to make it sound like I'm smart. I'm really not.
You don't know how much this hurts that I've already had to agree with Shane once in the show, and now I've got to agree with Lag for the second freaking time. So if you're not paying attention to Granger on eBay right now, so it looks like Granger is making a play for Uline is what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but they are wanting to become a much bigger player in the national box scene. And so, what is their strength? Their strength is they're everywhere. They can ship them from their local. I get most Granger in 2 days. Their prices are generally lower, and they have you can get whatever size number of boxes, but their sweet spot for very good pricing is 25. And so, like the other day, I'm almost out of 1086 boxes, and I know I need some tomorrow, and it's 8:00 in the morning. So I ordered 25 from Granger and 100 from Supply Hut. knowing that the Granger is going to be here. It came the next day, and then Supply Hut, because that's the one I prefer, and it was cheaper. 3 or 4 days later, Supply Huts rolls in. So now I'm running out of the 25s, but the 100 are back in stock. Um,
So while we were speaking, I was playing around with ChatGPT to see what it could do as far as pulling reports for you from eBay, and I just had it pull my year-to-date sales report. I've already got
right.
it in a
So,
CSV format.
so the agent
It
pulled
did
it
it.
for you, or did you do
Yes,
it?
it did. It pulled it for me.
Now, let me give you a little tip on pulling reports. AI likes CSV.
Yeah, that's what it was.
API programs prefer CSV, which is if you're uploading it to Amazon, you're uploading it somewhere. You probably want to look at it in Excel. I
Right.
I ask AI to convert it to an Excel sheet for me as a download. So I
Let me
have
see if it'll do
the
it.
CSV if I need to upload it, but I also keep the Excel file copy in case I want to open it in Excel. So I ask AI to create me a download file in Excel.
So Kevin, Granger Direct is the same price and without their shipping charge on it. We have Grangers here. I just decided that for the $6.99 shipping or whatever it is, I didn't want to drive the town and back. See, folks would my what's to get the Granger and back would take me an hour round trip. It'd take a
Let's
gallon of
do it.
gas. So I've got $3 in gas. We're just gonna say $3, even if it's 2.5. I've got an hour of my time tied up when they'll just bring it here. Mm.
It is now converting it into a Excel sheet, if that's what you prefer. I know Jared will take CSV files. I've sent them to him before.
It's very hard for me to read that sentence that Harlan got an iPhone.
It did it, John.
He bought iPhones as long as I've known him, and then uh, someone says he needs an iPhone, and he converts immediately. That's
So I won't use this agent that often, only once a year, maybe at the end of the year, to send the stuff to Jared, and that's good. But I can see this being something that if you needed to report on a monthly basis,
see, I don't, but because here's the thing, Steve.
but it'll be easier for you to do it
I
this way.
want to be more intentional in my business. I want to know how I perform, and I've not been very good at this. I've not looked, so I want it to print the same reports every month, so
Yeah.
I can look for my use.
Now I can make this run once a month. We can't hear you, John.
You're muted, John.
You should not be looking at your reports, Steve. You should download your report every month. And you can ask it things like, okay, are my sales up or down over
Yeah.
last month? It'll be able to tell you that. What categories are up versus what are down? Where am I making the most money? What categories am I better at than this category? Where should I be focused? Blah, 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 blah. On and on and on. And you can get it to tell you how to improve your business to make more profit this month than last month. If you only run it once a year, it's kind of
Well, I'm
hard.
just saying how I would have to do it as a part. Well, I guess I'm full time now, so I guess I got to look at it more like that. But
I think it can. I think it can get. So, John, we don't have the same details on eBay that we have on Amazon, but I think using chat that's the one thing I want to force, because I want to know where my time is best spent. And so, if the store is built in store categories, because you can tell it, what are my best performing categories? What can I do to increase profit in this category? I wanted to be able to tell me, uh, you've got a store that's got 9 categories. Which store category is the most profitable? So you can, because it's not good enough to focus on the 75%. It's how do you know where to spend your time to focus on the most profitable part of the 75%, or the underperforming part of the 75%. I just want some. I don't.
now,
Tired of waiting on eBay to give me a performance report, and when I've got powerful tools that with some prompting and with some time invested, I can build my own.
I had what Marcia did last night was it now sends her a report once a week on what she wants. So every Monday at 5 in the morning, she gets a report. It emails it, or it doesn't email it to her. Just it'll be in the chat. She'll go and look. It'll be there.
Now I'm
So-
working on much larger data. You know, I got
She's
data.
doing market
Some of my
research,
data
but-
sheets are 500,000 lines of information. So I'm getting to a point where it's pulling out the stuff that I need to look at as a CEO. I'm trying to become a CEO. That's my next move, guys, is to become the CEO of the company and delegate when I have an idea, delegate it off my plate so that it performs within the business. I know this is grandiose thinking and ideas, and I can hear Dusty in my ear going, "You freaking idiot. Why do you think you're capable of doing something like that?" But that's where I'm at, and that's what I need. And to improve my business, to increase the value of my business, which is an asset for me personally for my retirement, it's worth my time and energy to put into doing that kind of stuff. You can
Because
do it on a smaller scale and just say, "Hey, what 5 things can I do in the next month to increase the productivity of my business?"
Even
I've really liked what John, you've been building, and the thoughts about how do you build that on eBay has been really intriguing to me. So that's where my mind's at right now. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, the
Sorry.
first thing you have to do, I'll tell you how to do it for eBay. You need to tell it everything you do, and it does not have to be neat, guys. Just start talking into a text form and let it be ugly and put it in there and tell it what you do all day long, every day, and then say, based on this, what 5 steps can I take in the next 30 days to improve my efficiency by 10%? And if you do that every month for a year, you will improve your efficiency by well over 150%. And I know there's 12 months, 10% comes out to 120. The problem is you're not going to do it for 12 months.
Boy, Todd was quick on the finger.
Yeah, too late, Todd. We saw her.
You're not going to do it every month for a year, but there's a compounding interest effect to this too.
So just that simple report I asked for, it summarized the entire report for me. Year to date is all I asked it for, just to see if it would actually do it. And it gave me my total sales. It gave me my taxes and fees collected by me and by eBay, which is 0 for me and all from eBay. All my selling costs, all my net sales, the quantity I've sold, the average sales price per item, which is $30, which is pretty good, I think, and sales via fixed price via sales versus auction. And I could ask it to do more.
Now I ask it, what can I do to improve my profit based on what I've given you?
Now, do I use the same chat or do I open a new chat for that?
You use the same chat because it has the data in the chat. It has the data in its temporary memory.
What can I do to improve my profit?
Yep.
Can ChatGPT help you find sources to buy products?
Yes.
I have an idea about that. What I want to. It's very similar to what Raykin does with his program, but
I can tell you
ChatGPT should be able to scrape eBay and tell you undervalued products and things like that.
So Corey also, Grams and Pops of it. Corey has been using it to find wholesale product and product leads in his area. So I know it can be done.
It's giving me going to give me a generic answer about how to increase profits as an eBay. But I should have told it based on my numbers here that you just pulled. So you got to sometimes be a little more specific with this thing. But
I think it's a powerful tool. You started off by talking about that, John, and I think that we owe it to ourselves. If you're going to run a business and you want to make this, how do you make your life easy, more efficient, all these things? Because I think too, because to track my inventory value too, I think I'm gonna do a lot of that too. Because every time I use List Easier says you have listed this amount, and so if I have a number that it can track, it can take the. With eBay, everybody is scared. eBay announced at eBay Open that they were going to have where you can put your cost in to when you're making a listing. Folks, that's not scary. that's just another data point that a program like this can pull that you can use to track your inventory costs.
I watched a guy who was all worried about that eBay's now going to know what I'm paying. What are they going to do? Go buy the same stuff? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's the people who think like that is still it
But
doesn't it doesn't tell what your overhead is. You know, whether you've got a team like John or if you're single like a lot of us, it doesn't tell where you got warehouse rent. It just tells you the cost of the item. It doesn't tell you anything about your business or your profit margins, your overall net profit. It can show you the perceived profit in an item, but in the grand scheme of things, that is what good does that information do?
So flip
Let
it.
me tell
I
you
have
where I
both. Go ahead.
go ahead, Steve, because you're
Flip it
answering the
good
question.
and Eric have similar questions. I used the agent mode on ChatGPT. You have to pay the $20 a month to get the agent mode. The agent mode then connected to my eBay account. Now you probably should use a staff account, like somebody else said earlier. I didn't do that, and it usually has me enter my password. And all I told it was to find my year-to-date report and download it for me, and make it in a format that I can send to my accountant. That was it.
Now understand. I run reports. I have software that I use, and as a CEO, I look at all these different places. It's the first thing he said in a while that I agree with.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Um,
but you're
he's been cheerleading eBay, and he just had a little too much
but
Kool-Aid.
all your software that you pay extra for generates reports that
But I look at all those different reports. Now I pull all those reports into AI, and I'm teaching AI to think like me, sitting there looking at all those reports. I pull this column from this report and this column from that report, this line from here. I look at this, I look at that. I'm telling AI all that. It's creating a set of instructions that when it gets those reports next time, it'll run all those calculations for me and give me the information I need without me spending hours going through reports.
How'd you get it for $10 a month? That must be nice. I had to pay 20.
Nah, the run. I think they. It looks like he may have gotten a program. It's a special till August of 2026.
Yeah, well, of course, I probably applied like the day before the program that started running.
Listen,
But I don't care. It's worth the $20.
I have 3 different chats that I pay $20 a month for on my computer on different Google accounts for different reasons. I have
So
my
it did give me
investment, I have
based
my
on my
investment,
numbers,
I
it
have
did
my
give me
business, and I have my personal.
it gave me 6 or 7 recommendations just based on my numbers. Now I didn't give it any information about what I source or anything like that. I can do more of that, and it tells me at the end by fine tuning, you can get more information out of me. So
Yeah, but out of those 6 or 7 things, is there any one thing that stands out that is actually feasible and easy to implement?
yeah, monitor shipping and selling because my shipping and selling costs are high according to this.
See that?
35% of my gross
What
sales.
what did it say to do?
Monitor.
Monitor your shipping
Yeah.
costs. So, okay, chat. How would I monitor my shipping costs based on this report? And how do you suggest that I decrease my overhead expense of shipping?
so I guess you got to. Did you create a new account, Eric? Because it's still showing me 20 in the browser.
You may have to clear your history in your browser so you get the because of what they're going to do is get you. Everybody's trying to get you locked in on their system. Elon wants you locked into Gronk. Um, OpenAI wants you locked in on chat. You know, they all have their freaking. What I can tell you is from experience, guys, until there's a clear winner like Blu-ray, not Blu-ray, Beta and VHS, pick the one you like, stick with it until there's a clear winner.
See,
jumping around is not going to help you.
So
I think Chat GPT will be the clear winner in the end, but that's my opinion.
So we got 5
Because
minutes
it's-
left before we shut this thing down. Because I got to get working on this. So the one thing I tell you, John's statement is a good place to start. Hey Brian, what's up, man? Is understand that your competition is probably getting younger. You know, the resellers and people that are coming into this game are going to be younger than a lot of us. We're the old guys, and they are. This stuff is normal to them. You know, just think about how technology, you know, where we struggle as an older group, but how bad our parents struggled and ask us things. These kids come up having a distinct advantage, and they are going. This is going to be the normal for them. And so, if you don't do it, they're going to, and they're going to beat you at your own. Can you be Todd and you know, have the nicest hand on the internet, knowing that, you know, you're setting your ways and tomorrow might be your last day? You can,
Now, listen,
but it's
John brought up another good point. John, are you okay? Did you bang your freaking head this morning? He brought up another great point. Don't be scared to ask these programs, what's the best program for what you're doing? Chat will frequently send me to a different AI program for something.
yeah. I can't tell how many VCRs I've had to program in my life and all these things, Alex. You're get the most out of your business, get the most out of your time, and so hopefully as I go through this journey out, you know, we'll start talking more about it. You know, there's a core group of people that if you start mentioning the words AI, they go, "Oh my God, I can't believe somebody's." When the most powerful tool that we've been given is being given to you for $10 a month or whatever it is, $20 at max. That a chance to really you have the opportunity to train your own business consultant that can every week or every day can give you insight and direction on your business that you can't see because a lot of us are first time business owners and we're learning and you're so distracted by the negative feedback or whatever. Your chat agent, I got to come up with a name because I like the fact that John named his, whatever their name is, doesn't care about any of that. They're going cold hard facts and a way of focusing you on your business that can bring you direct results. Um, so it's, you know, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'll be readily admitted that I've ignored it for a while, but you know, you know, I don't want to wait 5, 6, 7 years for I build an inventory and do some of the things John suggested that I'm getting good results with now. So I'm only gonna wait the 6 months on this one. So I'm gonna start now.
Listen, you made a promise to me, and if
Correct.
you follow through and do some of this stuff with AI, you're going to go, damn, this is the best profit for the least amount of my time I have made in years. Not because I told you. It's not because I'm super smart and I know how to do this shit. It's from experience that I learned that by using luck, labor under correct knowledge, and
Yep.
keeping it simple, that I've built what I have. And if you do the same thing, you're going to find out 6 months from now, you're going to be like, I wish I would have done this a year ago. Where would I have been now if I started this a year ago?
So
And
mine
look,
just told me I
go
had
ahead.
to analyze all the sales I made all year. And I have two distinct ways that I buy things: quantity, low selling, low profit items, or single high priced items. It told me to focus on one or the other. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It said focus on one or the other.
either keep going after the high priced, high profit items or the low
Now
multi
go
quantity items.
now go a step further here, Steve. Why are you suggesting that I follow one path versus doing two that have been profitable so far? You understand the question?
Yeah.
Well, just think about reality, John. Uh,
But it's going to
Rolex
say if you're focusing on one thing, you're going to be able to improve your capabilities much more.
Rolex is not sold at Walmart. There's a reason.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir, bud.
That's the reason. If you can answer that question, why is Rolex not sold at Walmart? There's your answer. And why does
Well,
Walmart and and why where you go to buy a Rolex they don't sell toilet paper?
I wanted it to clarify, so I'm asking if it wanted me to, if that's what it's actually saying. Are you suggesting that I focus on one or the other?
If people follow some of this stuff, they're going to find out pretty quickly. It's probably going to tell them focus on a platform because running two is very hard. Even though someone like me can tell you the hardest thing you can do is run two different platforms, and I would even tell you, I struggle to run two stores on the same platform because I will focus on one or the other loses. I haven't listed in the parts store in it's been a couple of weeks.
well, here's what I can tell you. My sales line today is an exact duplicate of yesterday, which tells me what Chad asked me to do and I did is actually working already. That quick.
So the whole thought I'll leave you with, and unless any of you guys got a final, it's when have you ever been given a chance to build yourself a business consultant that's personalized for you that you can use at any time and any kind of query, and see how much would this have costed, John? If you had to have this kind of consultation and information before, you'd have paid through the nose for this. I mean, the information is so valuable, and remember that whoever controls the information it controls the game. You have such an opportunity for such business insights. All you have to build it or have to find people around you that know it and can share the information to help you build it.
Fred
So
Fred would easily cost me 20 to 30,000.
This is the information I'm pulling right now. I would have had to do it on my own and waste hours and hours and hours.
but then could you do the complex data to make decisions on it? But look,
Nope.
because remember, if you sell hundreds of items or thousands of items, patterns are a computer can see patterns that you can't see.
I want to see if it'll. I'm now having it pull my whatnot year-to-date report just to see if it can do it. Why not?
So my final question of the day, and everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button on your way out. We appreciate each one of you being here. So Lag said the sky is blue. Why is the sky blue?
Because our eyes can see blue now, and the Romans couldn't. Sorry, that's a long story.
What's above the firmament?